I don't know how inappropriate I can get on this.
PG-13.
Okay, then I won't say
Okay.
this
I'll say the other one.
but wasn't that crazy?
Crazy.
Literally
Oh
crazy.
My gosh. Find it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a deep conversation about dating, finding a job, reaching our goals, and all the other intricate areas that make up our 20s? Every episode, I talk about these topics with real young adults who are living and learning along with the rest of us. If you want to hear how your peers are dealing with and conquering these areas of life, tune in. This is Building the Blueprint.
What's the weirdest compliment you've ever gotten?
Weirdest compliment I've ever gotten? I can tell you, I have the worst thing someone's ever told to me.
Works.
Is that bad?
That works.
One time, so bad. One time, it's just memorable. I had an ex-boyfriend tell me, I was telling him that I hadn't like waxed my brows in a while. It's like a month. The girls know. You'll do it like once a month or like every 3 weeks, whatever. He told me that I looked like Anthony Davis.
Wow.
Which was a tough blow.
Just like immediate humble.
Which was a really tough blow for sure. So never forgetting that one. And yeah, it's whatever.
Okay. What about weird? But okay, compliment though. That's like a takedown.
Compliment?
That's not a compliment at all. It's like the opposite.
No, it was horrible. And I was like, I told my parents that and they're like, break up. Like, I mean, honestly, early boyfriend, which whatever. But I was like, damn, I gotta keep some tweezers on me and a better boyfriend, I think.
I have like, sometimes I'll get compliments from like my family and they'll be like, you'd be a great serial killer. And I'd be like,
what is that?
I'd be like, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
It just means that you're well calculated and
it
organized.
Just means like it just means like if I needed to be double-faced, I could, I guess.
And you're always 6 steps ahead, which is a compliment.
There we go.
Exactly.
I guess that is a compliment.
Exactly. You're a planner.
As long as I'm one that doesn't get caught. Like I'm assuming they mean a good one.
Right.
Not just like a
you just could be
not a one and doneer.
I don't know. I feel like the glasses are really adding to the Jeffrey Dahmer vibe right now. So they really are not.
I'm trying to like lure listeners in. Like, no, I'm good. Like, you can trust me.
This is so chill. Let me lock you in a room for an hour.
Think about it. Have you ever heard from someone after they came on the podcast? No. No.
They live on TikTok clips forever and then they just die.
Yeah, people think they're still alive because I post their clips later on. Like I save them in the bank and they're like, man, I haven't seen like Lily in a while. What's going on? It's like, no, she's dead.
Is it too late for me to leave now?
No, the door's locked. Door's locked. Yeah, door's locked. You're done.
And I'm done. And this is the beginning of the end.
Lily, will you introduce yourself to our listeners today?
What do you want in my introduction?
I would love to know. Well, I mean, if you're okay with it, I'm going to keep some of that intro part in because I think that's
it's hilarious. Yeah.
I would love to know who you are, what you enjoy doing, what's your age, where are you in your point in life? You're in college. What are you doing after college?
Yeah. To the camera, to you.
Whoever you want. Speak from the heart, Lily.
To whoever I want. Yeah. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Lily. I'm 22. I am a graduating senior from the University of Oregon. I'm an ad major, Mandarin Chinese minor. And outside of school and things like that, I feel like I like to pride myself on doing a lot of different things in school, which I'm now starting to see really show because of how many stoles and like random chords and things I have. So that's awesome to see. But I'm currently also performing in the U of O dance concert that happens every term, and this one's the student spotlight, so pull up, better see you there. I perform on May 29th and May 31st, 7:30 p.m. Girlinger Annex, see you there.
If you don't see her there, definitely wasn't me.
It definitely wasn't Nick. Right here, right now, this is a call for help. Thank you so much. But yeah, dance has always like been a big part of my life and creativity, which is why I think I'm going into advertising and I know you talk a lot about business on this podcast, but for me, it was a way to take that business role in a career that I knew that I could build and put something creative into it that I knew I actually found joy from, because I don't want to wake up for the next 40 or 50 years of my life and walk into a cubicle and count down the hours until I'm done. It was like, how do I inject something personal and fun into my life inside the work, inside the office? And I'm excited to wake up for work every day instead of no tea, no shade to my finance bros out there, but God, if you're doing
Fuck the
finance,
finance bros, dude. I hate them so much.
Sorry.
I hate them.
Are you finance?
No,
Sorry.
no, I'm not.
But that was like, at least for me, it's not how I find joy. And for other people, it probably is,
Right.
or in different ways. Which I also means it comes with the caveat that it might not be as financially stable, or it's a little bit different. But I don't know. For me, it just is something that sparks joy. So creativity in my job, in what I'm doing outside with dance. And I grew up singing and playing instruments and all that kind of stuff and making videos. So all of that has always been in my life. And now, after graduation, I am doing an internship for Sony Music in their vision and video department. So, all those like music documentaries and things that you see.
Lily got a job.
Yeah, woo! But yeah, so
She
like
saw me like look down. I couldn't figure out which one it was.
I was like, you are crafting something
No,
right
I
now on
wasn't. I
the
wasn't.
board,
No,
on the audio
We're
board.
really proud of you. Good job.
Thank you guys. Oh, it's like you're all here with me. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I'm working for Sony Music, which is awesome because I'll be on their production lot. So it's crazy that my breaks in between work can be walking to different sets, which is so sick, and I'm so excited about that.
It's like La La Land.
No, exactly like La La Land, and that's like my favorite movie of all time. So
Number 6 for me.
I'm really okay. Well, what's your top 5?
Okay. Dark Knight is 1.
Okay.
Inception is 2. Shutter Island is 3. What was 4? Might have been Whiplash.
Okay.
La La Land was... Fuck. Hold on. Give me a second. We literally talked about this last podcast.
We did talk about this. We did talk about this.
And I also talked about it with my Alex.
Yeah, I ran into him in the hall, and I did know that he was on Tuesday.
Django Unchained.
Okay, I have not seen that one, but I've seen Whiplash gave me nightmares.
Oh, Interstellar was 4. Whiplash was 7.
Whiplash was 7.
Right behind La La Land.
Because La La Land is elite. Thank you so much.
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Dark Knight, also good pick. My dad's favorite movie. Seen it countless times, so I got you.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Well, Lily, we're excited to have you on the podcast. And
Thanks.
First of all, love the hand gestures. I will say we are close to the cameras, and this is my fault because I didn't tell you early. Just be careful of like the blocking. But that's on me. That's on me.
Hi.
No. I love it. We're just like we're like body cram next to him, you know.
The problem is actually that I put on fake nails this morning, and if I didn't do that, I probably would not have been doing that. So
it's like you're just like coming with like they came on and your personality got bigger.
I do this now. For anybody listening.
ASMR.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, listeners. You're not going to get that.
Exactly.
You got to go behind a paywall. We got Patreon for that. You can check that out later.
Exactly. Okay.
Is advertising something you can talk about forever, you think, without getting bored?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's just my pride and joy, happy place. And which, if in 10 years I hate it, it'll be sad. But I'm also like, it's how I grew up, and my dad's in the ad industry. And so I kind of grew up around it and understanding what that's like. I feel like to outside people, advertising seems like you're just trying to get people to buy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. Advertising is about utilizing creativity in ways that make things accessible to people, but also can be used for so much good. I'm also involved in a lot in climate justice groups here at U of O, but climate, making science like easy to digest for people, that's an advertising route. How do you make that accessible for people that might not understand what these scientific methods are, and things like that? Science communication can come from advertising, a bunch of different things. It's more than just like a Dark Knight, 2-minute
making
TV
AT&T fun.
Oh my God, we lost semifinals, so now I'm like triggered.
It was a good ad though.
Thank you. Yeah, but it's fun, and I love that I can, exactly like I said before, I can wake up and go to work and be excited about what I'm going to do. And the other thing with advertising is because it's so, clients are new all the time, and you might not be working on the same project the next 9 months later.
Mm-hmm.
That there's always something new in the door, and all the industries are so different that you can find a niche that you really enjoy, and you can kind of hop around and pick and choose whatever you feel like you're more equipped to discuss and answer, and what you're excited to learn about, I think. So that's why I love advertising, I think.
What's your favorite part of it? Writing, shooting, for editing? Because there's a lot to it.
Yeah, I am taking more of a production focus, and there's a lot of different fields inside of advertising. You have your account managers and your project managers. So account managers mostly work with the client. You're kind of that bridge in between the agency and your client. Um, so people that are good with people and also very organized, that's your jam. Project managers kind of oversee the project. I mean, pretty self-explanatory, and help organize every single moving piece so they kind of have a hand on everything. Strategists are so research heavy, but it also means that all those insights and things that people might not be seeing come through in strategy. So all of those research articles, focus groups, surveys, everything is in that strat group. Then you have the copywriters and the designers that kind of work hand in hand to make that strategic insight look beautiful and feel more digestible to an audience. And that can come through in billboards or in audio or, video, anything like that, print, magazines. And then you have your art directors that kind of oversee that area and also oversee that production aspect. And for me, that's kind of my niche that I'm starting to dive into more, which has even more branches down it that I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. And I didn't go to film school, so it's like I kind of need to figure that out. But anything audio, visual, even events and things like that, which people don't really think about a lot, but experiential production. Let's say if you see Glossier pretty recently had a giant perfume bottle that they put in the middle of New York City. That was experiential production. So anything out of the box kind of comes from that aspect. But for me, direction in production is really what I'm gravitating towards because I've taken a lot of leadership positions just throughout my life. And I really enjoy that. I also feel like I have a pretty strong creative vision just because I've been also doing a lot of different um, I have a bunch of different creative outlets. So that kind of comes easily to me. And I'm sure we'll talk about it in a bit, but with ad team, we work on a specific client and I was a director there. And that came really, really easily to me. And I was like, this is something that I could totally see myself doing. It's just about reps, at least in that area.
You know exactly what you want to do, which very few other seniors that I've talked to know what they want to do.
Mhm.
When did you figure this out? How did you figure that out?
I think, honestly, I didn't really figure it out until about 9 months ago or a year ago when I did something in ad team that I hated. An aspect that I didn't discuss was being a media planner, which means that you buy all of those spots for each thing. So if you're buying social media spots, if you're buying a Super Bowl ad, like what's the time slot that you're buying? If you're buying billboard space and all of those things, which can get really creative when you're going through experiential, especially. But for me, the finance aspect
Oh,
and the
yeah.
budgeting wasn't
You can call
really.
me for that part.
Yeah. So if you want to be a media planner, there you go. But that wasn't something that I really felt inspired by, and I think it took me finding enough times that I didn't like something, that I found what I wanted. My dad's a creative director and works in the design sphere, and I was so bad at drawing, and I was like, "But this is the only one that I can be creative in, so I just have to get really good at drawing." I didn't go to art classes. We use a lot of Adobe here, was garbage at Illustrator and InDesign. Photoshop, I'm still kind of terrible. So it was enough things that made me say no that it helped me figure out what I would say yes to. And with that, my parents tell me this all the time, but what you find joy in when you're young is probably what you're going to find joy in when you're older. It's the things that nobody told you when you wanted to do it that you just started doing it. For me, I made a bunch of videos when I was really little and, like, made YouTube videos with my brother. We'd play Beyblades together, and I would make my friends shoot music videos, and I would, like, direct them around and change the shots, and I let go of that dream in middle school, and then it wasn't until I was 22 this year that I was like, "Nobody told me to do that. I did it for fun because I loved it, and I let go of that dream. Who's to say that I can't do it now?"
Mm. Wow. I think we should just end the podcast now.
And that's your clip. Thank y'all so much for having me.
I mean, I don't even think we should. I don't know how we beat that. I mean, that's like the ultimate clip. But you were speaking, I'm just thinking, how many views is this gonna get? Oh my gosh.
No, but I think that's also why it's difficult for me to grasp. I think that's why advertising came so close to me, and I really enjoyed that aspect, and why it's a little bit more difficult for me to grasp why someone would go into an industry that isn't creative. But that's also just because creativity has always been my passion, and I grew up doing some sports, but I dropped it to do dance because that's where I found my passion. So, I mean, I think for anybody, it's what did you do when you were younger? Can you make money off of it now? And even if you can't, do you wanna wake up and go to work every day and do that? Why would you not try?
Yeah.
Or at least incorporate it into your life? I don't know.
I really liked your thought about I said no to enough things that the right thing came, because I've actually had the same thing where I was like, okay, I'm going to be a financial planner. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try it. Or I'm going to do like stocks. And then I joined the UO investment group. I did their intro program. I was like, I hate this. It's like, what do I do now? It's like, this was not fun at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe I could do consulting because my dad does consulting. I joined the consulting group. I was like, this is pretty fun, but like the hours are insane. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And like, it was a lot. Okay. And then maybe you can be an entrepreneur. Let me try that. So I like started a business. Like, okay, that was pretty fun, but there's also this, and this you got to deal with. And it's like, you're totally right. Of like, I think too often people think, okay, I need to sit here and figure out what the best thing is going to be. And once I find it, I'll act. But it's like, what are a few things you think it might be, and then do it. And then more often than not, you'll find it's not that. And then you just cross off the list. I think that's a great insight.
What did you do when you were younger? And do you feel like you've kind of seen that come back around for you yet? Or how is like maybe podcasting fit into that?
I think it's one thing that I did that when I was younger that I really enjoy now is like coming up with businesses. So I never acted on it, but like I came up with businesses all the time. Like I was going to do a dog walking business, and I was going to have different kids in different neighborhoods do it. And then I would pay them, and then I'd get a cut. And like I had all these elaborate plans. I never did them. So that's like the first thing that I think most directly relates to now. I think it's a little harder to find other examples just because I'm way different. Like I really didn't apply myself at all. And it wasn't until college that I actually started exploring things that interested me. I think I was a little too nervous almost to try these different things that I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that. But I was like, I don't know. And it was a lot of Xbox and Minecraft and
Yeah.
YouTube. And so I would say entrepreneurship, probably the biggest one. But I would say I found a lot just experimenting here. And you also learn the more you learn about a topic and you hear from people doing it, you figure out what it's really about. Like commercial banking is my internship this summer.
Wow.
And I was
Come on, some applause for yeah.
Bow, bow,
Thank
bow,
you.
paying for this podcast. Whew, thank God. But I was not excited about it at first because I was like, I was excited about the internship and whatnot, but I wasn't excited about commercial banking specifically because I was like, all right, I don't really want to give loans to people. That kind of sounds boring.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a commercial banking class right now here at UO, and I realized like how much communication it is, and also how much you do for a community. So if you're working at a community bank, they're in charge of all the local businesses. Like the only reason those local businesses, can operate is oftentimes because they're getting loans from these banks. And the whole job of a bank is they come to you and you go, okay, like let's solve this together. Like let's figure out how we can make your business work. Or they go, okay, hey, we can't give you a loan, but here's why. And you need to go work on these things, and then we can give you a loan because these are the biggest holes in your business.
Right.
And so that was an interesting angle too that I learned, like, okay, I didn't actually think commercial banking was the thing for me, but I'm doing it anyway because I got an internship in it. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. And I still don't know if this will be the path for me, but it definitely opened my eyes to there's way more behind the curtains than, you always think. And that applies to internships. And I found that applies to people. And I found that applies to literally everything I do.
You mentioned that you in college have started to kind of get over that like hump of wanting to try new things. I don't know if it's too deep for the podcast,
Please.
but I'm curious what helped you get over that, if it was a new environment for you or new people, or what helped you get over that like fear of trying a bunch of new things. Maybe it was COVID even.
It was a culmination of three things. It was one, I started college, and so it was just a new place. And so it was really like the definition of a new start, right? It's like new year, new me. It was like, all right, I'm in college. Nobody knows who I am. I know my two roommates know who I am because I went to middle school with them. That's it. Nobody else has any idea who Nick is. So to me, it was an example. It was an opportunity for me to be a different person and like create a new identity. I thought that was kind of fun. Two was I'd had enough.
Yeah.
I was over it.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to talk to people that I think are cute. I was like, I want to join clubs that I think are interesting. I was like, I want to like try things that are scary, but I'm intrigued by. And so I was like, I'd had enough because I'd been like kind of just sitting on the sidelines for 3-4 years, right? And then 3, I just had a lot of good role models. I think my parents and a lot of my parents' friends are really impressive individuals. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I know what this looks like, and I'm kind of over it, and I'm in a new place where no one knows who I am anyway, right? And then that's kind of who I became. And I think it's really funny too, of like my dad and my brother tell it all the time when we meet new people, and they're like, oh, Nick's this, Nick's extroverted, Nick's that. They're like, that was not Nick. That was not high school Nick at all. Like, you have no idea who he was, right? Or like, I like to think like my college friends, or like even you, like you have no idea who like high school Nick was, right? Like
literally
nowhere close to who Nick is now. And so I would say a combination of those 3 things. Yeah.
That is like proud of you.
Thank you.
First of all. And I agree, like as someone that's only known you in this college career and kind of only in like the past like year and a half or so, I could not imagine you being introverted. I could not imagine it.
Super.
Which is crazy.
Super introverted, super scared, not ambitious at all.
Crazy to imagine you.
Like my life was, because middle school was I was not super. I had a lot of friends because I had my friend group from like elementary school, and then I was good at sports. And so I was like friends with like the cool kids because they were good at sports, and I had like all these friends, right? And I went to high school, and I went to a different high school than all my friends. I went to private school, and I knew 3 people that I wasn't even that close with. And so I kind of I don't know why, but I was like, I kind of just shut down, and I didn't try to talk to anybody. And I like, my only friends were from the basketball team. I didn't even hang out with them that much. I didn't hang out with them after school or anything. And yeah, I just shut down. I'd be like, go to school, kind of meander around, come home, do my work, play Xbox, watch YouTube, go to sleep. Like that was, that was all I did. And then, eventually I get to a point where it's like, I'm kind of over this. I remember one time, I mean, I've said this on another podcast before, but I'll say it again. Like I remember one time, it was during COVID, and my school actually went back really early because there weren't that many of us. And our classrooms were split in half. So there was only like 15 of us in a class. So I was thriving. I was like, there's no one here. This is great. Also, COVID, I loved COVID because I got to stay at home and I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like perfect for an introvert. And I remember I was like, that girl has like really cool yellow shoes on. And I was like, you should say something. I was like, no. And I remember I went up, I was like, hey, so-and-so, those are awesome shoes. And she was like, oh, thank you. Like, how's your day been? Good. How's yours? Good. All right, I'll see you around. See ya.
And then we got married.
So we got married. No, and then I got in the car that day and I was like, Dad, I did it. And he was like, what'd you do? I was like, I talked to someone and that person was a girl. Like 2 birds, 1 stone. I was freaking out. Like that's where I was at. And it was like, and then every day it was like, okay, like kind of slowly got better.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
But also like, it's just, again, insane to imagine you not as that, because I feel like your personality is so extroverted and so like entrepreneurship based that it's like absurd to imagine that not being, I mean, it's always been at your core, but it's insane to imagine it not always on the surface.
Right.
I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was walking around. I was literally like 30 minutes ago, I left my apartment. And for anyone listening, wearing like white painter pants and glasses. And I was like, walked out and I was like, first off, I would never know to wear this. And second off, I would never had the guts to wear this. Like even just in high school.
Pants and glasses?
Just like, yeah, like I kid you not.
You have no pants to glass?
Hold on.
Okay.
Freshman year of high school, you can ask my family. I refused to wear pants. Because we could only wear khakis or jeans, and I thought I wore khaki shorts every day because I thought I couldn't do it. I just didn't. I was like, it just felt weird. I was like, that's scary. No way.
That's crazy because I know that there were some kids in my middle school. Maybe this is just like canon event for middle school boys where it's like all you wear is basketball shorts.
That's right. But I kept it for a bit.
Which, it just it happens to the best of us. I'm from Seattle, and so when it's wintertime, which it's not East Coast, but like we live in the city, it's 30 something degrees, dude. You can put pants on.
Yeah, there's always that one kid who's wearing shorts in the coldest weather.
And I'm like, dude, it should have been a snow day today, but you pulled up, calves out, like ready to rock in math class, and I'm like, dude, you can wear pants. It's okay.
Yeah,
that's hilarious to hear, and also interesting to hear that there was actually like lore behind it, that it's not just like, I guess I have these. It's like, no, you actually thought about what you wore every day.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't like a priority. I mean, it sounds like sports were really big for you. But like that is still something that most people think about every single day, no matter how much effort or how much like, how much effort you put into it, it's still something you care about.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just the idea of like, you're never stuck. Like sometimes it's harder to keep moving than other times, and you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to have times in your life where you're developing like crazy and all this change is happening. You have times where it's like nothing's happening. You're dead in the water, but like you're always growing and you always can. Yeah. And that I had a long period of like I was just not moving, and then a really short period where holy shit, like what the fuck, I don't even recognize that person. And it's that can happen in business and relationships and friendships and personal development. Like it's a fun idea to have in the back of your head of like, oh, at any moment like this will explode, right? That's a big thing. Atomic Habits?
I've heard of the book. I've never read it, but I know what it is.
It's a big thing called, it's like the Valley of Despair. So when you're learning a new topic and you're trying to get a new skill, there's a moment where everyone quits, because the way skill development works is it's really slow, really, really slow, really, really slow, and then exponential. Right? It's not a linear thing of like, oh, every day I put 10 minutes in, so I got 10 times better. It's like, no, like you're actually kind of sucking for 75% of the time. And then the last 25% you get exponentially better, right? Like that's probably what will happen with this podcast one day.
Yeah. So you guys, when this one goes viral, you're welcome.
I'm calling it right now.
That this is the episode that goes viral. And
oh yeah, sure. That's what I meant.
Yes, exactly.
That like, it's going to be really, really slow for a while, for 75% of the time. And then one day I'm going to wake up and be like, holy shit, like that episode got 1 million plays or something like that. Right. Like that's just kind of what happens. And it's a nice piece of hope to have in your back of your mind. Obviously, you still have to do the work, but I like having that.
I think that piece also really translates to creativity really, really well. And I think it's interesting that growth like that is really obvious to see in the gym, but impossible to see in any other sphere. You go to the gym and okay, my shoulder presses are so weak, but I know that if I keep doing this, I'm going to get better and I'm going to get stronger. It's so interesting to see that in creativity in any other sphere, you just suck and you think that you're just going to suck forever. When you know that getting reps in is just like going to the gym and you're going to get strong and you're going to get better. It's interesting to see that what you were referencing, that valley of despair, it's so difficult to see yourself succeeding in something creative. And I think it's because you put so much on your personal well-being into your ideas.
Well said. Was there more to that? No, that was perfect.
I think something that we talk about here a lot, and I think something that we talk about a lot in the ad industry, is killing your darlings or killing your babies. I forget what the term is, but it's about separating yourself from your ideas. Every idea that you put out is not you. You are separate from that. And so it's really difficult right at the beginning when you put out an idea and you love it and you think you're fantastic and someone says it sucks. And everybody agrees that it sucks. And then you have to move on. How do you move on and make sure that you're okay and know that your idea isn't you? That, I think, is the biggest piece of creativity and biggest piece of learning something in a creative sphere, and knowing you're not your ideas. This idea was great. Not everybody's favorite. Move on, go to the next one. You produce something that you fucking love and everybody loves. It's not about who you are. It's not about how great of an idea you can produce. It's just about the thought itself, and you're all the way over here.
Completely agree.
Wait, you're awesome, Nick. This is so fun.
We're awesome.
We're so lit.
Gotta make sure.
Fix the hair. Yes, behind the earmuffs. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. Yes.
No, sometimes I'll look at episodes and be like, what the fuck happened?
Literally, I know I'm gonna look back at this and go, my posture was so bad.
You know what this helps with though? It's like I'll leave the house, right? And like obviously there's days you leave the house and you're like, man, I'm not looking my best. And I'll leave the house and the first thing I tell myself is I have videos online where I look way worse. So I'm chilling.
You're fine.
It's like I have a digital footprint of way worse than this. We're gonna be okay.
You're chilling. Yeah, my mom always says like look good, feel good. And I think everybody says, I think you literally posted a quote of you saying look good, feel good.
Yeah.
I remember my mom told me that one time. I was having the worst day ever. It was like late January in high school, and she was like, look good, feel good, just put on a cute outfit and you'll feel so much better. I was like, whatever. And I put on a better outfit and I felt good, or I looked good, and I did feel a little bit better. Went to school. I had dance afterwards, so I had to throw on something else. I wish I kept what I had on, because I come home and my friend set up a surprise birthday party for me at my house.
Oh,
But it was so cute, because it's like you never really know what's happening or what's going on, and something joyous and so great could happen. And I was having the worst day ever that morning, and my mom was like, no, like put on something cute, because she wanted me to
she was like baiting you in.
exactly, without telling me. But I'm like, I don't know, you never know. So I'm a big fan of look good, feel good. I can say that I can count on one hand how many times I've showed up to class in sweatpants my entire college career.
Good. We were just talking about that last episode.
Really?
Yeah, I was asking Alex. I was like, we were talking about like our outfits still a thing. Like, are those still cool or not? And we had agreement that like in college you should not be wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt to class.
You think?
Okay, you can't do your thing. I don't actually care that much, but my whole thing
now
was like,
you're talking to a girl. Yeah.
hold on.
Okay, give your spiel.
Hold on. I've seen a lot of like sweatpants and like crop tops and stuff like that. Like that's chill. But that was just a personal thing when I got to college. Was like I felt like that was just such a thing in high school where it was just like everyone was just kind of like it was just put on whatever. And when I got to college, my personal thing was like, all right, like I'm an adult now. Like I'm gonna dress like an adult and like feel like an adult. And like when I put on a good outfit, like it's almost like putting on a personality of like, okay, like I'm like gonna be the person who would wear this outfit. Right? It's like when I'm wearing glasses, I feel smarter.
Do you actually need glasses?
No, I don't need glasses.
Okay,
These are blue light glasses.
Dude, as a glasses wearer, fuck you.
I love them. I love them. I put them. I kid you. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I put them on for interviews. I put them on for podcasts. Not this one. Usually when I do other people's podcasts. Anytime I feel like I need to look smarter, I put the glasses on, because that's an actual thing. Like people will literally perceive you as smarter if you wear glasses.
Which is crazy, because I switched from glasses to contacts in the 8th grade.
And that's why everyone thinks you're dumb.
I'm so dumb, guys.
Yeah, that's why everyone's texting me, Lily, what's going on with Lily?
Don't have her on the podcast. She sucks.
And then you put glasses on. I'm like, whoa,
new person.
Who is that?
Literally. No, I feel like you guys don't understand. If you don't wear glasses, the luxury of waking up and seeing.
Wow, that's a great point.
Think about that.
Whoa.
Every time that I like go to bed.
It's that bad?
Dude, I'm like, okay, if anybody wears glasses, I'm a -4. I'm a -4 and 1, and then I think a -4.5. I actually think I'm worse in both, and I have an astigmatism, pretty bad nearsighted. Dude, I can't see anything. The other glasses struggle, is when you're lying down at night and you've got your glasses on.
Oh, yeah.
They like go sideways.
Yeah.
And like you can't really, it's just so brutal.
Yeah, I've been there. I mean,
yeah, big glasses guy over here, as you can see if you're watching. Yes.
Wears a lot of sunglasses.
Dude.
I think I left my sunglasses at the top of the 9, and now that we're saying it, I need to go get them after this.
Dude, also so jealous of your pool right now and your air conditioning.
We've been averaging, I don't have a pool in my house. I live in an apartment building that has a pool. We've been averaging like 3 visits a week the last few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We were in there last night. When the pool, we had softball, when the pool went to Pegasus Pizza, they were closing early, and I asked if they had extra pizza, and they gave us a pizza and a half for free. Went to Max's, got 1 drink, played pool for an hour, came home.
Dream day.
Dream Wednesday.
Dream day. Pint and Slice?
They were closing, so that's what we went. That's why we went, and it was a slow Wednesday. Like, hey, we're closing early, and I was like, you guys got extra pizza? And they're like, yeah, you can have it if I don't have to rewarm it. I was like, done.
Score.
Give it.
Score. We got a microwave at home.
Yeah, so I got an extra large pizza and then a half.
I'm so jealous. I actually did get a whole Tracktown pizza last night, though.
Was it good?
Which was a score. Free.
You know what's underrated? Domino's.
I love Domino's.
Domino's and Costco are underrated.
I don't have a Costco membership.
I'll bring you one time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can't lie. The one benefit out of my sorority presidency,
Costco membership
with my face on it. Yes, with my face on it.
That's
not
hilarious.
Kidding. And which meant that I had to go to Costco every single time, which meant that I could also get a dog. Hot dog.
Oh my god! So you meant a real dog? I was like, what?
Dude, yeah, new thing at Costco. You go look at it.
They have dogs now?
Yeah.
No, I was like, for like 2 months, I was like, Mom, you need, like, Costco would be so good for you. I was like, just telling her, like, she needs Costco. Because if she has Costco, then she gets to add one person to the account. So I get to go to Costco for free because it's 2 people for 1 membership.
She needs it so you can have it.
Yeah. So we need it,
Mm-hmm.
was
Collectively.
yeah. I was like, I'm a college track guy. Like, I'm going to be eating a lot of food, right? Let's get some bulk going on here.
Mm-hmm.
You should see us. I could not look more frat than when I'm checking out of a Costco.
Oh, God.
It's a 25-pound bag of rice. It's like 48 eggs, 10 pounds of beef, 5 pounds of salmon, and then like 6 to 8 pounds of chicken.
That is so boy dinner of you.
And then like sometimes like a pack of Red Bulls.
Only meat.
Meat, rice, and Red Bulls, and a lot of ketchup.
What more can a man want?
I'm living the dream.
Exactly.
Living the dream, pretty much.
Dude,
yeah.
We're from Seattle, and I still have never had a Costco membership.
Yeah, that's like blasphemy.
It's crazy. Like, it's Kirkland. So if you're not from Washington, Kirkland is one of the like
cities,
I guess, maybe like suburbs off of Seattle, kind of off of Bellevue. But it's absurd that I've never actually.
First ever what's where Costco originated.
I know. Costco home base. Still have never been.
Costco's a crazy history. I had to do a project on Costco. Crazy history.
Give us a taste.
A taste of Costco.
Of Costco history.
All right, like
welcome back to Building the Blueprint, Costco edition.
Costco. Here's your 90 seconds of Costco history.
Okay, go.
Okay? That I can best. Don't quote me too hard on this. This was a while ago.
Okay.
It started in like the 1930s. It was actually U.S. It was government workers only could go, and this was like this wholesale market, so government workers could get things for cheaper. And then this guy saw it as a good business opportunity, so he basically copied the model and then created a ton of them, like in the SoCal region. And then they kept doing it. And then basically what happened was this guy made this thing that was really big. I think it was, I don't remember the name of it. And then he created it. And then basically he got kicked out of his own company. And then he did it again. Basically, he was like, well, I know the model, right? So he just did it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you've ever been to, I think it's FedMart or Cost Plus, they're like similar. Those were basically the original Costco. And then these guys basically did the same thing and copied those ones and made Costco. And then Costco was just like basically the one that made it out. Now, my explanation a year and a half ago would have been way better than that. But basically, like, it's been around for a while, and it's been people like copying the same like
that's crazy
model of people want the cheaper prices. They don't actually mind going to a warehouse and getting the bulk stuff. And that's actually like the same business model for Home Depot. The Home Depot is Costco, but just for home goods. I mean, well, construction stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like, so the guy who started Home Depot was friends with the people who started Costco.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Don't call me too hard on that. Like, I'm like 90% sure about all that.
But I mean, also it makes sense. It's like Panda Express is the Chinese food version of Chipotle, which is the Mexican food version of Subway, which, you know.
What is Subway of?
Because you like build your own sandwich.
Yeah, but what's Subway of?
Sandwich version? I don't know.
Of
like, I don't know. Qdoba?
Like, I was saying, like, is like Subway like Italian? Like, what is? You were saying like Chipotle.
I know. I was going on the chain.
I was curious where Subway was going.
Exactly.
There.
I don't. Subway started.
Chipotle never misses, by the way.
True. I got my free chips and salsa the other day.
I got
Cinco de Mayo.
That's gonna sound like I'm bragging right now.
Go.
I've been on a run of free stuff. I got free Chipotle last week.
For what?
I got in line, and then we were like about to leave for a movie, and my buddy Chesky was outside, and their thing broke down. Their system broke down. Like, I couldn't Apple Pay him or credit card, and I didn't have cash on me. And they were like, "Hey, like, give us a second." So I waited like 5 minutes. I was like, "Hey, like, I gotta go." And they're like, "All right, you've been waiting. Like, just take it."
Score.
Yes.
Jealous. I do. You know how like people do lottery things and they're like, you could win a ticket to blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I've actually won one of those, and it was real and legit, and it was free. It was a ticket, I think 2-3 years ago. I went to the Glossier store to just like, I don't know, get something, and they were like, "Do you want to enter in your email to win some tickets?" And I was like, "To a music festival?" I was like, "Sure, whatever." I won like a few months later, and I was like working my like minimum wage retail job, and I like checked my email and I was like, no way. So I went to Capitol Hill block party with my brother, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
And it was great. Met my ex-boyfriend there. Hey, but still free tickets, and some of that stuff actually works. So There you go.
When we were in Canada last year, there was like free Taylor Swift tickets. Not free.
Did someone win?
No.
Oh my
But
god.
I was like, we were joking, like, what if?
That would have been insane. It was like you and Meek won.
Yeah, like when like drive back to Canada, go to Vancouver
to
to
Taylor
go watch
Swift.
a T Swift concert. Like, it'll be so funny.
Big fans. God.
If you met your 50-year-old self, okay, but you only got to ask 3 questions,
God,
what would you ask?
I'm terrible at these. I always see these on TikTok and I'm like, God, I'm terrible. You know what I have seen though? And I do think it's a really good motivation tactic when you're feeling low or down for the day.
Please.
Is I saw this video of this girl said that sometimes when she was feeling down and she's in her mid to early 20s, she was like, if I was my 80-year-old self and I traveled back in time and I was here in this body today, what would I do? You would move freely and do whatever you wanted and go enjoy everything that you've ever wanted to do. I think it's also great motivation for like moving your body. For me, that would be dance, just because it's an artistic expression that I know I'll have to leave when I get to a certain age. But for a lot of people, that was like gym motivation. But I love that she was like, I just use it as a little exercise kind of game with myself of what would I do if I was 80 in this body today.
That was a beautiful answer and a great way to avoid the question.
Thank you.
That was good. You're like, all right, well, like that was like 1 step backwards, 3 steps forwards. You're like, okay.
Exactly.
No, that is a good sentiment. And I do think about that sometimes. I'll be sitting in class and I'm so bored. I'm like, me on my deathbed would be so excited to be here right now.
Right. To be
which is hard to like internalize, but works a little bit.
Yeah. Or like sometimes when I'll go on a run, people tell me, and so many people just ran the marathon and the half marathon. My roommate just ran it. She killed that.
Shout out Grace.
Shout out Grace. Yes. But some people are like, you just got to disassociate. How do you consciously disassociate? How do you think?
Like when you're running?
Yes. I feel like I can't do it because all I'm thinking about is don't think about this. Don't think about what you're doing right now.
Right.
You're
it's
not
like
running.
telling yourself to fall asleep.
Exactly. But you're running and it's horrible. I don't know. If you have any motivational advice, let me know.
For running?
Yeah. Or anything. I don't know. Because I feel like for me, and I don't know if a lot of other people like resonate with this or not, but for me, dance has always been my like main
North Star.
Yes, with creativity and also with just like exercise. But now that it's also like, hey, well, you're not in school anymore, you're gonna have to pay for that. It's like, how do I find that in another sphere that I can still get just as much enjoyment out of it?
Yeah,
that's the question.
With like dance particularly, or like yeah, no, I get you. That's like the underlying thing in your mind of how do I continue this thing that I really enjoy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. For running,
if anybody does, comment down below.
Comment down below your answers.
Yes.
DM me. You can come on.
DM. Let us know on the Patreon.
Let us know on the Patreon.
Exactly. Yes. That's that we're both so chronically on YouTube that Patreon is just like.
Oh yeah.
I also think the nice thing about growing up with a younger brother that was like 2 years apart from me is that we grew up watching all the same stuff.
Really?
So I watched like all those YouTuber gamers and like I felt so cool watching Disney XD and I was like, yes, which also means that like sometimes with my guy friends, I'll like randomly pull up a reference from like a Captain Sparkle's Minecraft song like reference and they're like, how the fuck do you know that?
They're like, who cooked here?
Exactly. And I'm like, no, my brother and I, like, we had to watch that together on like the family iPad.
It's like me dropping a La La Land quote. They're like, what the fuck?
Who cooked here?
Yeah, who cooked here? You're
number
like, no,
6
I just watched.
You're like, no, it's number 6 on the list. I swear.
I just watched it actually.
I swear. No, I felt so cool. In the moment I was like, damn, James.
What's the best Disney show and why is it Jessie?
Oh my God. Because my first celebrity crush was Cameron Boyce.
Yep, great answer.
I
thought Jessie was so cute.
And
she was like older than me too. Well, I guess.
Okay.
How old would I have been?
Like 12.
Would I have been 12?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That sounded weird when I said it. Yeah, I don't know.
No, Cameron Boyce was my guy.
Yeah.
On that, but
okay.
Go.
Olivia Holt.
Bad.
Kicking it.
Yeah. Leo Howard on Kicking It. Yeah.
Right. Paint List.
Who was on Jesse? You could have picked that.
Yeah, but when I was watching Jesse, my eyes were on Jesse.
Main character. Dude, there was an episode where I don't know what she was doing, but she had this red necklace on. My mom had the exact same one.
Wow.
And I was like, we're celebrities. Like, I can't believe Disney came to our house and said, Jen Wong, what necklace do you have on? We need it for Jesse.
Can we borrow it for a moment?
Exactly, for this one episode.
Good Luck, Charlie.
I didn't really watch it.
Oh, it's good. And oh my gosh, you know she was like a singer too.
Bridget, do I know Bridget
I
Mendler?
Yeah, you do. I'm assuming.
Hurricane,
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't put that together until recently.
And now she's like a politician.
Is she?
She went back to school, got her master's or something. Please don't quote me on this, but I know that she's gone on like multiple like news, like TV channels to discuss certain political aspects. Bridget Mendler.
I believe it.
It's either that or she's a doctor. It might be that she's a doctor.
No, I think it's the first one because my dad's ex-girlfriend worked with her for a bit. And I was like, so when are they coming over?
So when is Bridget Mendler pulling up for
like when am I shooting from full court? Like when am I hucking one from the bleachers?
Who's definitely like 10 years older than you.
More than that.
Yeah.
I bet. What's her name? Bridget what?
Bridget Mendler. Which also no diss to that because my parents are 10 years apart.
Bridget Mendler is 32 years old. I'm 21. I got a chance.
You totally got a chance.
Career. Began with acting. She now leads a space startup called Northwood Space, aiming to develop a data highway between Earth and space.
Can we get some applause for the girls?
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Thank you.
Went to space. Now you got someone working on data from space.
So you're saying that I need to go to space, but like not in the
Mars,
Katy Perry.
Probably Mars.
Not in the Katy Perry way. I'll
Probably
go in the
Mars.
Bridget way. Okay. Oh, and then just stay there.
Yeah. You can make an ad. You should make ads so that you need to make ads so that the aliens come say hi.
Hey guys, it's like a 30-second TV spot.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like it's like an intro to like the intro to like Friends, but it's like the intro to Earth. And then they like that excites them and they come hang out.
And welcome to Earth. Thank you so much for dude.
There was I just saw apparently they like found evidence of some microorganisms far away.
They find evidence of microorganisms literally everywhere.
Yeah, but it's just fun when I see it. They saw it. They found more.
Do you believe in aliens and do you believe in ghosts?
It's so tough.
It's going to be a really good podcast
episode. It's so tough. Okay. I feel like there has to be aliens, right? Like space is so big. Now, the problem is, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there were aliens, you would have to assume they're either way less advanced than us or way more advanced than us. Right? And it's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's also things where it's like, there's a lot of like, if you like really like dive into like the philosophy behind it, right? And like do the mind games of it, it's like, though there should either be millions and millions of aliens or none at all, which is really scary either way.
Interesting. All the Rick and Morty people are like, yes.
Okay, I think there are. But as of right now, I think we're the most developed species in the living existence.
I feel like that's an interesting take because I feel like every single alien anything is like they're so crazy advanced UFOs.
I think they would have found us by now.
They could have found us and then done nothing with, but like I don't know, maybe this is a simulation.
That's a deeper question too.
Literally Matrix.
I feel like this is more likely to be a simulation than there. I feel like I'd be less surprised if I woke up one day and I saw the news headline that said like, we're in a simulation, than if I saw one that was like, aliens are everywhere and they just came to say hi. Well, no, that's not true at all. That's a terrible take. That's actually a terrible
That's
take.
actually a horrific take.
A terrible take.
And
I would actually be way more surprised if this was, yeah.
Yeah. I agree though that I think that like I agree that there's life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how that manifests.
Yeah, how developed.
Right. I agree. I mean, like maybe it's like a rival where we just can't communicate and it's just like these big,
Well, the odds of that, you know how the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
Like the odds have to be so low. Like
Oh yeah.
The odds of like we were like our beings came into existence the same time they did, like in this 4-5 billion existence of the universe.
I feel like you just can't post this episode.
Yeah, this like next 20 minutes you can. This
You're
like last.
so fucked.
This like last 10 minutes you cannot take seriously because who knows?
No, we were like super philosophical right at the top, but now we're like, and
But that's the point.
And exactly.
That's the point.
My take, okay, here's my take on ghosts is that if ghosts exist, they don't. Okay.
Sorry,
that was
the ghost. That wasn't me.
That was literally
the
the ghost. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That wasn't me.
That was a perfect use of that.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm like, I see you reaching for the button.
Oh, we were just getting serious.
Yeah.
You have to keep going.
Oh yeah, the heartbeat.
Yeah.
If the ghosts are real, there's no way they're all mean or they're all scary. This isn't. I don't even know if this is a heartbeat moment. I'm just like, if ghosts are
You
real,
want like a Casper?
yes. Or it's like maybe somebody. I mean, like anytime that we go through graveyards and stuff, like, who's to say that all these people are gonna haunt you
You have
and
a ghost story?
everything sucks?
I have one.
No, but I have a reincarnation story. You go first.
Okay. This is based on what my parents told me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I was born, we lived in a house. In the house, apparently a child had died there, like a baby had died there. And my room was the same room of like the baby, because I was a baby at the time. I was like,
Okay,
1 years
twin.
old. Yeah, I was twinning with this baby. And apparently they would hear me crying in the middle of the night, right? Like a baby does. And they would come to get me and come say hi, and they'd check in, and I was dead asleep. And this happened for a while where like they would hear a baby crying, but I wasn't crying.
That's the heartbeat button.
And I would have like night terrors apparently. Like I would like freak out all the time. Like I'd have night terrors, and then sometimes they would come to check on me, they heard crying and it wasn't even me. And then they had a shaman come in and like,
are you serious?
yeah, they told me they had like a shaman come in and like basically like tell a spirit to like move on, and it stopped.
Whoa.
That's what I've been told.
Spooky.
Take that how you will. That's just what I've been told.
Spooky.
Yeah.
That is spooky. My dad tells me, and I also remember this.
Okay.
Which is why I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But there was an old picture, and my dad is like pretty spiritual. But there's this like old picture of my dad when he was really little holding this bunny. And my dad was raised by his grandma, and she had passed away before I was born. But like she took the picture and everything. And I picked up the picture. I was in his office, and I was like toddler. I could talk. And I picked up the letter or in the picture, and I walked up and I was like, "Oh, Dad, it's Bun Bun." He was like, which granted for a he's holding a stuffed bunny. Default name, right? Like every bunny's named, Bun Bun. But for me to guess that, and he had never talked about it before, crazy.
Yeah.
Even crazier was the fact that it was black and white photo. The fact that I knew what color the bunny was. I knew it was green. And that's when he was like, whoa, this is weird. So I don't know.
I got a reel last night.
God. The worst start to every sentence ever. I got a reel last night.
And this guy was like, I was on the train, and this woman would not stop staring at me. And eventually she came up. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry for staring, but like you look exactly like my ex-fiance who died like 5 years ago." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, Sharon." And she was like, "My name's Kathleen." And he was like, "But like imagine if I got it right."
If the bit was right, that would have been crazy though.
That poor woman, if he had got that right and just like gaslit her. Yeah, crazy world.
I know. I also feel like there are very many like doppelgangers, like that everybody has someone. I believe that everybody has someone in the world that kind of looks like them.
You have 7 statistically.
I feel like I statistically have 0. Because like I'm Wasian, and the kind of Wasian that I am is such like a random
configuration.
Yes. So that's why I'm like,
maybe you have 3.
I don't know.
Maybe you have 3.
Maybe I have 3, and we're all Chinese, Japanese, and white.
I'm Welsh and Irish and English and German, so I think there's a lot of Nicks in the world. I think I probably make year 3 probably went over to me. I'm probably at like 11.
Right, unfortunately, and because Nick is such like a really uncommon name, like nobody has
No
that
one has it.
name. Super unique.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, I like to. I used to joke sometimes, or I think my brother. I don't know who made the joke, but they'd be like, "You look like a default character in a video game." I was like, "Motherfucker."
Is he wrong?
He's not wrong.
Maybe-
Even more so. I'm a little different now. Like if I put the glasses on,
I was gonna
helps a
say
little
now that
bit.
you have the glasses on,
I have to like add
default
elements to
doctor
I have
character.
to add elements to my outfit. Be like, all right, he was the default character, but like he bought some in-game cash
I'm gonna say it really doesn't help that you're wearing a plain black shirt
and plain white pants.
Yeah,
Painter's pants.
painter's pants, guys.
Pants. Deep pop.
Dude, I never got into that.
This is the only thing I had a freshman year Depop run.
Good for you. I feel like I never got into that. And I feel like also people don't, I always feel like I'm in the minority, especially because I'm so sustainability focused, but I'm in the minority of people that are shitty at thrifting.
Wow.
I am so bad at it. I'm like, I feel like I need to go in with a full stomach.
That is like how much do you pay
coffee.
for that shirt?
I don't remember because it was in yen.
But it's like you bought it full price.
Yeah.
But like that's like a thrift shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just an example of like that's something you could thrift.
No, 100%. Yeah. But I'm like, I am so terrible at it. Maybe it's because our day and age with attention span.
It's kind of fun. If I do it, sorry, I didn't.
No, you go. You go.
If I do it, it's like got to be in a big run. Like I don't be like, hey, do you guys want to go to one Goodwill? Like I'll go to San Francisco and we'll go to the street and then we'll spend like 3 hours because there's like 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like literally a couple of my friends and I went thrifting to multiple stores and I walked out with a karaoke machine. No clothing, just karaoke, which maybe goes to what I value in life.
You do you.
Right. Back to creativity and back to blind karaoke in the house for $13. Steal.
That's what that is. That's where that came from.
Yep. I thrifted it from St. Vinny's. Shout out.
Shout out St. Vinny's.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Exactly. I am curious. You started with a very clear idea of what you wanted this podcast to be, and now it's kind of shifted to be something different.
Yeah.
What's changed for you in that, and why did it change?
When it first happened was I had an episode coming up, and I was like, oh, like fuck, I have an episode. I was like, wait, why did I just say that? Right? Like that's not the point of the podcast at all. Like I caught myself saying something like that, and I kind of called it out in my head and kind of dove deep into it. And I was like, okay, well, sometimes it's like, sometimes I'm not sometimes it's like I'm asking questions that I already know the answer to. I don't really care. Or sometimes, it's not as fun as when I'm driving in the car with my buddies. Right. And so and then I started playing with like, okay, where's the balance between what I enjoy and what I think people would actually want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just been a lot of that. And I still don't have the answer. Right now, the answer is humor plus really insightfulness, right? It's a bit of both. And I'm going to keep doing that, but we'll see. But that's how it started, was honestly, I just called myself out because I caught myself being like, fuck, I have an episode. Wait, why are you saying that? You don't have to do this podcast.
Right.
I have other things I could be doing, a lot of other things I'd be doing in my time right now.
Yeah, you're a junior. You got a lot of stuff that you could be doing. But again, I feel like it comes back to like this sparks joy for you.
Yeah, it does.
And it's a creative outlet for you that you feel like you can use, and that helps benefit culture in some way, even if that was a goal for you or it isn't. But something that sparks joy. I also feel like something that I'm getting over, and I kind of referenced it a little bit earlier, and I think why I applaud you so much in this podcast and all of your entrepreneurial like endeavors is that making art is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is so embarrassing to start something and then to be so terrible.
Yeah.
And then everybody makes fun of you because you suck.
And it's because it's different.
Exactly. It's because it's different, but it's also like you can't know you're good at guitar until you buy the guitar. You have to start. And then you're going to suck for a long time, and then you're going to be good. But you still have to buy the guitar first.
And it's also so much like labels play a big part of it too. When I tell people I published a book, they're like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell people I'm posting TikToks for the first time, they're like, what? Why are you posting like what are you doing? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, book, TikToks, podcast, public speaking, like that shit is scary. Have you read The War of Art?
Art of War?
The Art of War. Oh my God.
Sun Tzu.
No, The War of Art.
Oh, then no.
Yeah. Why am I letting you gaslight me? I know what I'm talking about. The war of art. It's the war of art. So the whole idea is the more inner resistance you feel to a creative project and to releasing that into the world, the more important it is. And so if this feels really important to you, but like you're like everything in your body tells you not to post it for, you'll be embarrassed. It's not good enough. It's this, it's that. The more important is that you put that into the world. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. It's like 100 pages and it's great.
Yeah.
And it was a big motivator for me that my mom sent it to me. And it was very helpful in all the creative endeavors that I do.
The other thing is it's also like if your friends are making fun of you, you've got the wrong friends. And they should be supporting you or giving you advice in a way that's going to make you better. The other thing that I think you referenced before, and I feel this all the time, which is why I think like being an extrovert is my safe space, is if somebody doesn't know your name, they can't make fun of you. If I go into a Safeway and I spill over like all the chips in an aisle and I have to pick them up, that dude over there that's standing at the end of the aisle can't make fun of me because he doesn't know my first name.
That's a funny perspective. I like that.
It's like, and maybe that's different because this day and age with social media and people can take videos and figure it out. But like in the general public, if somebody doesn't know your first name, they can't make fun of you. And they shouldn't have that power over you.
Yeah. Your first part there about like your friends should be supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. That was something I realized early. I was like, okay, well, it's actually great for weeding people out of like, if you're giving me shit for the shit I'm doing, then we're not meant to be friends, right? Like it's a pretty easy indicator to see, okay, like who's real and who's not, which is actually a great part. And it sucks, but really powerful tool. And then, yeah, I agree. You can't take yourself too seriously. Like you have to joke around and be like I'll be all the time in the gym. I'll just do stupid shit sometimes. And I like just I just like laugh out loud. And like, I find that too, like when I just like laugh at myself and find things, like we're not perfect. Like that's really like life in close up is a tragedy and life in the long shot is a comedy. Right. Like it's an amazing quote that I love. It's not my quote.
Bars.
But it's so like everything in the moment seems so serious and so important and so tragic. And when you look back, and that's the best part about embarrassing moments is you look back and you go, you think that's embarrassing? Let me tell you my story.
Right.
Once you give it 10 years, you're happy to tell it. And if you're good at bringing that perspective in now and being like, oh, this doesn't matter in the long run, like this is silly, life is more enjoyable.
I feel like I also had that a lot when I was in like middle school and I had a lot writing on a test and I was really, really anxious or really, really nervous about an essay going in to a teacher or something. And I just would always sit by myself and think, I'm a student in a classroom, in a building, at my school, in a neighborhood, in a city, in the state, in the county, in the state, in the country, in the world.
In the aliens.
And the aliens and the ghosts. And I can't even remember where I started because there are so many layers and the world is so much bigger that a grade that you got on your 7th grade test doesn't matter. And I keep thinking that. And then in the moment now when I'm like nervous or anxious about something that I know that I can maybe have a little bit control over, I do what I can. And I remember feeling how anxious I was in the moment when I was taking a 6th grade history test. I'm the same person. It's just that I've moved on enough from that point. And I know that in the next 10 years, I'll have moved on enough where I don't care or I will have forgotten. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And you can do it the other way around too. You can do it, okay, if I fail my econ test, what happens? Okay, well, it hurts my grade. Okay, well, if I hurts my grade and I fail this class, what happens? Well, I got to take it again. Well, if I have to take it again, and what's the worst that could happen? Well, I have to stay at school an extra term. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe I can't afford it. I have to go home. Okay, what's the worst? Like, like you can go so far down the line and be like, okay, like, let's be real here. Like, econ test realistically is not going to end up with me homeless. Like, that's not like, I feel like people's reaction all the time is like that. It's like, all right, let's be real. It's not happening. And the biggest thing for me right now that I've been experimenting with and trying is I'm doing my absolute best right now to not think about anything in the future that isn't practical life related. Like I have to schedule my life. I have to study for a test and I have to make sure the cameras are charged before I get here for the podcast.
Yeah.
But other than that stuff, I'm actually trying really hard right now to not think about anything that comes next and do my best to be really present. And so far, I'm finding that it makes life more full. And I don't mean that in the big philosophical way. I mean that like there's just more happening because you're more present. You're like, holy shit, there's so much stimulating things happening. It also just makes scary things less nervous because I'm not thinking about them, right? Like I think that's for a funny guy example might be like, okay, like someone lives in your building, you're like, okay, that person's cute, right? And then like you're like, all right, next time I see them, I'm gonna like talk to them, right? And like you start thinking about it and you're like projecting, like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do tomorrow, here's what I'm gonna say, this, and you build this moment up, like it's got to be so important because you've been thinking about it and you've been living it, and then it's like you panic, you don't do it, right? And then when I'm really present, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love that bag, and they're like, oh thanks, and then you start talking to them.
Exactly. I feel like there's also that.
Thank you, everybody.
God damn it.
Sorry, keep going.
But I feel like there is also that coin, especially as a graduating senior, of what am I doing next? And I feel like I felt that, at least when I was younger, a lot younger and before college, that moving back home was embarrassing. And it is so not. If anything, it's strategic.
Yeah.
You're saving so much money by going home. And it is so not embarrassing because you're 22 years old.
Free food,
free rent. You got your parents to hang out with.
Yeah.
Hey, probably your pets at home.
They're like, why are you still here? You're like, what's up?
Yes, the Netflix account actually works on the TV because you're in the household.
Yeah.
Like, it's so not embarrassing to move home. It's strategic. And I feel like there's so much pressure of like, oh, I got this message from a friend from home. I was texting him and it really set me off and I felt really uncomfortable and sad by it. And he's currently at a really small liberal arts college, but it's a really, really great one. And we were just talking about like post-grad plans and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, I'm moving to New York. I don't care if I'm working 3 jobs and doing nothing. I eventually want to get to this place. And I was like, awesome. And then I told him that I was, I'm still looking. This was before I landed the job that the internship I now have. And I told him I'd be applying to jobs and internships to try to figure that out. And he goes, internships? Are you stuck in junior year? And that really set me off. And I was like, it felt really uncomfortable and really embarrassed. Like, wow, am I looking in the wrong sphere? Is it a waste of time to look for internships? I mean, the one that I'm at is paid, thank God, but like, am I looking at the wrong thing? I had to take a step back and go, our career paths are different now. We're graduating college. We don't even go to the same school anymore. He's going into, I believe, economics. And like I mentioned before, I'm going into production and video. I have to submit portfolios and I have to do interviews after interviews. And I know both of those realms require a lot of hoops to jump through, but they're different hoops. And having internships is what's going to fuel me to get to that point. But it's unfair for someone to make a comment like that to me and for me to feel bad about myself when we aren't even held to the same standard.
Either way, it's a ridiculous standard. You don't need to have it figured out till you're 30.
Right?
Even 30, it's like, all right, I'm not even gonna get mad at you if you don't have it figured out. Like I think my cousin does like window sales and he's 31. And like, I'm pretty confident that's not what he wants to do. But like, he's like trying and he's doing things, right? And like that's like you said too, it's like the whole idea is try things, figure out what you like and don't like. And yeah, I mean, who cares?
Exactly. And I think that was also like a getting over, I don't know, maybe you felt this too. Like I wasn't the most popular at school. But I did have like a handful of friends. I know you're the shit.
No,
yes.
It was not at all.
But like I wasn't the most popular at school, but I did have a handful of friends. And there were some people in that group that just made me feel bad about myself a lot of the time. And I'm still friends with most of those people, but as I've gotten a little bit further away, it's been easier for me to detach. But sometimes when I come home for breaks and stuff, I still feel bad about myself or like I'm not doing enough. And I think to your point that you mentioned about coming to college and that was your break, I think for me it was coming to college and then now entering my life. I've met so many more people. I went to private school all my life in the city of Seattle. So my group of people was basically the same forever until I went out of state. And meeting new people and seeing different paths and seeing how people value so many different things, but they're all so valid, made me realize that because I'm not to the same standard as my friends from middle and high school, it doesn't matter because we all value different things. And like, I don't know.
You do you. You know what's
literally,
funny
you do you.
You know what's funny is I keep saying this quote and it makes me laugh because I was a little intoxicated on my 21st birthday, and
really, I had no idea.
And I kept saying to my roommate Cameron, I was like, he would tell me to do things, right? He'd be like, have some water, this. And I'd be like, you do you, I'll do me. That's what I kept saying.
So you trying to tell him not that you weren't going to drink water?
It was a variety of different things, but basically, but I was just like, for whatever reason, my subconscious was like, you do you, I'll do me. And and I just like, it's so silly, but it like, it's also so funny because it like totally profound in these other areas of life where it's like, yeah, man, you do you, I'll do me. Like it's anyway, it's a fun inside joke. So anyone listening to this podcast, if you hear me say that quote, you know where it comes from now.
But I also love that to your core, you're always going to be like your entrepreneurial, like philosophical vibe of like, you're so wasted. And you're like, you do you, I do me.
I do me.
End of story.
End of story. Yeah. Lily, thank you for coming on. This has been so fun.
Thanks, Nick.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast, which comes directly from my favorite show, The Diary of a CEO, in which the last guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing whom they're leaving a question for. Did you already know this?
I did, and I only found out who was before me yesterday, and I didn't come prepped with the question, so can't wait to see.
You're not supposed to come prepped with the
Okay,
question.
good.
The question that has been left for you: if you could invent one thing that has not already been made, what would it be?
Oh my God.
I'll give you some examples.
Okay.
Because I think that'll help. Because I was a little confused at first, right? The person who wrote that question was like, okay, well, I want a pillow. So when I dream, it records my dreams. And I can turn the pillow around and like it's there. Or like, I was thinking like I would love a teleportation device. So I can go wherever I want, whenever I want. What about you?
I need you to know that I was just having this conversation with my really good friend. We were talking about like his inventions that he came up with and some of my old ones that I had written down from like literally middle school. One of the ones I had written down was that I wanted a thermos that wouldn't make all my food mushy inside, but still keep it warm. I don't think I understood how like condensation works, but
right.
It's okay. I don't know how inappropriate I can get on this.
PG-13.
Okay, then I won't say
this
one, but wasn't that crazy?
Crazy.
Literally crazy.
They're find it on the Patreon.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of just said it, but one of my favorite like things that I always wanted was a transporting door.
Whoa.
Was what I always wanted when I was really
Monsters,
little.
Inc.
Yeah, actually. I came up with it when I was like
So you're copying me.
I'm not copying you. Technically, you copied me because I came up with this in like first grade. Well, I said it in first grade, so get on that.
Okay, well, not my fault. You're old.
Okay, I'm 1 year older than you. It's so dumb. But it was like transporting door. I could like visualize it's just like normal door, and then you have to like, type in where you want to go. And then you'll end up there, and then boom. But obviously, matter exists. How do you teleport matter?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Willy Wonka did it. We can do it.
Exactly. And Willy Wonka's a real person, so obviously it works.
Thought of another one.
Yeah.
Microwave automatically cooks it, like warms it up to the perfect temperature every time. Like I just put the thing in and it knows, right? So then I don't have to guess or like have burning hot warmed up burritos.
I love a mundane invention. I love that you were like, actually, just this. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, you got teleportation down. So it's like, all right, where else could I go?
Well, like teleportation, flying and stuff is like, superhero shit. Microwave, that's perfect.
That's every day.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
We got it figured out.
Maybe self-lacing, self-lacing hockey skates.
Whoa.
Hockey skates are my dad was a hockey player.
Yeah.
Hockey skates are so impossible to tie.
Are those the same as like ice skating?
Yeah.
I've been ice skating a lot. That
Okay.
sounded weird. My brother did hockey, and
Big ice skating guy.
big ice skater.
Yeah.
My brother did hockey. So he had to take lessons. So I would take lessons because I was like, he can't be better than me at anything.
No, me too. That's, I think,
And then he got me. He beat me.
older sibling syndrome.
Yeah.
I was always player one.
Had to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but self-lacing hockey skates, because those are a bitch to tie and your ankle is always a little bit loose. And that sucks.
Salters for pretzels that don't oversalt them.
Ooh.
I get a pretzel and there's either no salt or fucking the whole thing is salt. Right? Like I need it right down the middle.
Have you ever gotten a perfect one?
Definitely. It's rare. I've gotten, 8 or 9s out of 10 for sure. I don't know if I've hit that 10 yet. I think that the nacho sauce is a big part of it because I'll be like, all right, let me see what's going on here, and sometimes it's really sketch.
New idea for you is pretzel YouTube channel. Just try a bunch.
Just try pretzels.
Yeah.
Just like see if I can cut them perfectly in half and then try them.
I've seen that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe I would invent better point shoes for ballet dancers. I don't know if you know.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, or if a lot of people that aren't dancers know, but dancers are still dancing on the original shoe.
Those things are brutal.
Yeah, you're dancing on a wood block.
Yeah.
It's literally wood. And instead of your toes being like you're on your tippy toes, you are on the tip of your toe. So you're dancing on top of your big toe and like whatever, but super painful.
Super comfy.
Yeah, super comfortable, like really great
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But
Aerodynamic.
I don't know. But I would invent dance shoes that are more comfortable and easier to put on, and I would make sure that they are inclusive of every skin color because they only come in pink.
Well said. Lily, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
Thank you everyone for listening. See you next time.
That was so fun.
And we're out.